still have to put the poster up that you got me, by the way.
I still have to put mine up too.
I don't want to hang it up with tacks though. I feel like that would ruin the integrity of the poster.
I've got an extra poster holder if you want one.
Well, I need to go get a few because I've got the 3 marathon ones.
Oh.
And then I've got some other. So did I tell you about the? I got like this art guy was selling a bunch of. He like goes around to campuses and draws like different parts of the campus. And I got like 3 or 4 of those based on schools Lane and I have gone to.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds terrible.
They are so nice. You know what? I'm gonna go grab one. Hold on. Hold on.
God.
They're right here. So like this was also my first foray into buying art. This is Lindenwood. Trying to get it out of the light. That's like the front entrance to Lindenwood. It was like $70.
So $70?
Yeah, $70 each. I like them. I think they're nice. I'm gonna like if I ever got like a home office, like hang it up and then hang up the diploma or the degree next to it. I think that'd be sweet.
You're like the guy who hangs up like his high school or GED. You just like hang it up. You're like, yeah, I'm proud of that. Like it's not like a bachelor's or a master's or a doctorate. It's a fucking high school diploma, something you're required to do by law.
I got my GED. Damn it! I'm putting it on the wall.
Don't get me wrong. If you were struggling and you're the first in your family to finish high school or get your GED, by all means, be proud. Don't be like annoyed or upset by me saying that. I'm saying like you're like the guy who went to college, got his like bachelor's, but he still hangs up his fucking high school diploma.
If you're gonna do it, you have to bring like an attitude to it. Like, I did that. That was me. I had nobody but me, man. And that's completely downplaying like the professors, the advisors, any family member who supported you along the way. You just got to downplay it all. It was me, man.
I mean, they're not wrong by the means of professor. I mean, the professors are there. They're like, we're going to pay you the way you assholes. So you just sit here and do your shit.
But you find that one professor who's like, I understand. I get you. I understand you. You didn't do good on that test. Come see me in my office hours. We're going to get this, man. We're going to get this.
Right, well, you got that one, but then you get to like the other resources, and they're just like, whatever, like we're still getting paid either way. You just need to try harder, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try harder. That's clearly what I need.
You know what else I found out? Do you know what? And I'll edit her name out when we put this up live. Do you know a Tanya Finks?
That name sounds really familiar.
She was using my social security number for like urgent care stuff. But she was using grandma's address from like the old days, like, you know, the Santa Maria, the other one that her road was. Yeah.
So wait, what?
Yeah.
They were using that makes no sense.
They're using my social. They were using grandma's address. Old address. It was one of those things where I was like, because my credit's taken some hits before for medical stuff I didn't remember, and now like some stuff's ticking where I'm like, is it this motherfucker?
So was that what you found out today when you were at urgent care?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at some bills, but yeah, they took her off and were like, yo, it seems like you've been here before, and I was like, I ain't never been here. This is my first time. I'm just here for a test.
Tanya needs to be hunted down.
And they couldn't. I didn't even get tested anyway because my insurance card didn't come. And I don't have the ID number. So they're like, well, you can pay $200 a day and try to get reimbursed by your insurance. And I was like, no way. No way, no how.
Just it'd be a couple days, but just do the Walgreens or CVS.
Yeah, if I can find one, I'm going to try again tomorrow and get one either today or tomorrow.
Well, no, I meant like you could schedule one.
Schedule a test. Don't they need insurance though?
Not necessarily, no.
I feel like they do.
If you're getting the shot, they ask for your insurance. But every time I've scheduled for a test, it's free. They just ask you the basic questions. And you do it through the drive. Like you go through the pharmacy, you tell them you're there for your test. They put the test in the drawer. It comes out. They tell you what to do. You follow the steps. You put it back in, and they're like, "Okay, we'll give you your results." Bye.
I might try them tomorrow then, because we went to 2 different CVS's, 2 different Walgreens, and nothing. I even called the one in Target up by you guys, and nothing.
Yeah, it just seems like everywhere since we found them on Wednesday, it seems like everybody, or Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Just seems like everybody's out now. And it's like, oh, if I would have known, I would have bought the max of 4. I would have told Andy her ass inside, we would have bought 8.
Had I known, I would have gotten the test before we left, and I would have gotten the booster back in October.
Well, we scheduled ours for Sunday, but then with all this going on, it's like, oh fuck, at this point,
we got people coming over, and it's like, I'd like to at least know that I'm also negative, so we can like have them over. Because if I don't get a negative, we're gonna be like, hey guys, sorry, can't come. Because they got youngins. We don't want to put anybody at risk.
Right, and we took our test yesterday, and it said negative. Or was it yesterday? Thursday. We took it Thursday. It said negative, but we don't know when everybody was exposed and if we were even exposed.
I don't know. We'll figure out. I feel fine. Like I'm a little congested, but I usually get that way after drives. But I'll be
hungover. I'm hungover from last night. It's the only thing I've got.
I'm hungover. Well,
dude, I just drink so much.
Aside from all the medical stuff, guys, we are smashing game time. I am Nick. That is Josh.
What's up, everyone?
If you stay around to the end, we'll tell you the rest of our medical history, and I'll give you Josh's social security number, but you have to stay tuned for that.
And leave a review.
So we are on multiple podcast outlets. I can't remember them all. I know we're on Apple, Google. I think we're on Stitcher. We're on Overcast, Spotify, Anchor. We're also on YouTube. So if you'd like to look at the people as they're talking, come see us on the YouTubes at Smashing Game Time. This is the part of the show where we read a review. We got another 5-star review. We're now at 4. We have no written reviews. Again, if you want to leave a review, leave something nice, leave something nasty. We don't care. We will read it. We will cry on stream if we need to. Please just leave us a review. Please.
I will drink more nasty stuff.
Josh will drink more nasty stuff. So if you're listening today, this is episode 4. We were supposed to do 2002. We both just got back from a 14-hour drive just a few days ago. We do not have the mental capacity to do 2002 right now. So instead, we're going to make Josh use all his mental capacity to recap Metal Gear Solid 2's Sons of Liberty in less than 20 minutes. I've got the score sheet in front of me. Let's pull that up right quick. Josh, how you feeling about this one?
I'm not gonna lie. The more and more I thought about it, the more and more I regretted it. I'm gonna lose.
It's a big game. What'd you say? There's 5 hours of gameplay, 7 hours of cutscenes.
I think that's what it said. Yeah, for a total of like that's average. That's not even including if you go through all the extra stuff or find all the hidden stuff or go for dog tags.
So Josh can't see the sheet right now, but I think I was pretty fair with my categories. Remember what's online here. So last week I did Majora's Mask. This week Josh is doing Metal Gear Solid 2. I scored 27. Josh has to outscore me, or else he will be eating beets while playing Beat Saber. I'm sorry, pickled baby beets while playing Beat Saber on a live stream. But if Josh outscores me somehow, some way, I will be playing Beat Saber and eating the baby pickled beets. Pickled baby
and the winner is the one feeding it.
And the winner will feed the loser. I love this game, Josh. Like I think if it were me, and the shoe was on the other foot, I would have picked the same game as well.
I mean, there wasn't much of an options for 2000. I mean, there's a lot, but it's like, how can you not pick such an iconic game? I mean, let's face it, this is what revolutionized the PS2.
Well, and looking at it, like this is the one where you can get more specific. Like if you picked Halo or Grand Theft Auto, like who remembers like Halo? Oh, the flood. Oh, you have to fire you have to stop the firing of the Halo ring, and that's kind of it. You're Master Chief. Grand Theft Auto.
You're running around killing people, and
you get in the car with the hooker. They take your money, and then you run them over. You get your money back. Like yeah, it's just very hard to like take a whole 20 minutes up to talk about either of those. Now you could, like, if I were going to do a GTA, I think I'd do 4 and like explore, like, remember those diamonds that go missing at the end of the regular campaign?
Oh yeah.
And you spot them like in the Ballad of Gay Tony and then the Lost and the Damned. Like there's like an interwoven story between the 3, and that was Rockstar like playing around with, oh hey, we could have 3 protagonists. But I digress. Josh, are you ready? Are you ready for pain?
Yes, full disclosure for everyone. This is going to be a terrible, terrible rundown of this game, and it's going to be sad. So don't take my word for it. Definitely look it up if you're interested. It's such a phenomenal game and series. Very confusing, but still great.
Oh, it is so great. And there's, oh my God, I might be in store for a replay here on this. All right, Josh, 20 minutes on the clock. Let me know when you are ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Go.
All right. So basically, we start off. I believe it's the Hudson River. We start there. We see a man walking down the street. You find out it's Solid Snake. He jumps down off the bridge. Bungee jumps off the bridge and lands on a tanker. You find out that he's there because his new group called Philanthropy, which is like an anti-Metal Gear group. They got some new info from a person about a new Metal Gear that the Marines were making. Basically, Marines and Navy, I believe. But anyway, so they're there for one to take pictures and basically like put on blast because at this point Metal Gears are kind of like a big no-no. Like after the whole Shadow Moses incident, it's been a huge issue. So like governments have been like banning them and like trying to stop them from being developed. Anyway, so you find out that that's going on. You find out the only reason that this source is credible is because Hal, who is like your scientist buddy who gets you all the information, is a member of the group. He says like the username who provided the information was Emma Emmerich, which is his stepsister, if I remember correctly, or sister, family member of some sort. Anyway, so you go in for that reason, and also because there's another group you're looking into called the Patriots. They were coming across them a few times in other incidents that they were working on. So they're like, okay, well, there's information tied to that as well, so let's get into it. Anyway, so basically you jump down, you're in there, and you realize as you're jumping onto it, you find out that Russian soldiers are actually boarding the ship as well. And you're obviously they're also interested in Metal Gear, but you don't know why else they're there. So you're trying to figure that out. You go through the whole tanker, you're avoiding not killing. You start with a tranquilizer. I think you can get a gun at some point, but I think at first you start with the tranquilizer. So you're going through the ship, and then you run into, or as you're sitting there, you find, what's his name? There's a man. I can't think of his name. I remember his daughter's name. So Gerlakovic starts with Gerlakovic or something like that. Anyway, he's there. He's like the leader of the group, and you find his daughter, who's kind of like the co-captain almost. You end up fighting her. You train her down, and then after your intense gunfight with her, Snake looks up in the air and he sees a U.S. drone that takes a picture of him and flies away. And you're like, oh crap, what's going on here? There's actually a lot going on. Like, it's so confusing because so much is happening and it just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so you get inside the tanker finally. You go into like the holding area, and the Marines are holding this huge kind of like meeting for it. And they're like, it's several rooms leading to Metal Gear, and it's basically like there's projectors in each room. And it's the greatest scene ever because as this is going on, you have to like sneak around it. They're switching from 2 projector screens left and right. So you have to sneak around it. And at one point, he's been like, hey, it looks like everybody's tired. Let's go ahead and just, get this going. Okay, we're going to do this exercise. Left, right, down, alert. And like, it freaks you out because it's like, it gives you the alert sign and everything, trying to keep everybody going. And it's so funny. But anyway, you get there, you take the pictures, you send it to Hal. He gets them. He's like, great. And there's actually at some point you can take pictures of random things, and he's like, Snake, what the hell are you doing? It's funny. Just give it a try. Look at the videos up; they're pretty funny. There's even parts where you can take pictures of like the naked, or not naked, but like the swimsuit models and stuff, and send it to him. And he just like starts blushing and has like all this extra dialogue. Really cool. Anyway, so after you send the pictures, everything, they're getting ready to finish their meeting, and Revolver Ocelot, our great friend Revolver Ocelot, comes back, and he has a hand because on the last one, his hand got cut off. But he has a new hand now, and you're like, okay, cool. He got his hand back, and he's there basically to take Metal Gear Ray. That's the new one, Metal Gear Ray. So you learn that he's working with the Russians to take Metal Gear Ray, and he's talks about the Patriots. You start to learn more, and you realize that he's part of the Patriots, and it's like, whoa, what's going on? As this is happening, they've set off explosives about the ship, so it's starting to collapse and stuff. And as it's happening, Snake goes up to him to try and stop him, and he finds out that the hand that he has was actually Liquid Snake's, which is Solid Snake's brother, not biological, genetically engineered brother. And it takes over Ocelot a lot of the time, which is really weird, but still really cool. Anyway, so at that point, the ship's kind of exploding and falling apart, and you're trying to escape, and that's the end of it basically.
15 minutes, Josh.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, Ray gets away. So Ocelot gets away with the Metal Gear Ray, and the ship goes down, and you're presumed dead at that point. So then we go into it's like a few years later. I think it's like 2 or 3. You go to the Big Shell incident. You play as Raiden, who is like the new codename Solid Snake for Fox. Foxhound? Yeah, Foxhound. So you're the new Solid Snake codename for Foxhound, and you're going in to this like oil rig shell called Big Shell, because a group of terrorists known as Sons of Liberty have basically they came in during a routine inspection of the place and took it over. And they're holding hostages, and they have explosives set everywhere that if they were to go off, it would be like the biggest natural disaster to happen. Besides next to the what is now considered the Manhattan Harbor incident. So basically, you go in, you're infiltrating, you find out that in this group there's a special units force called Dead Cell, which is essentially, if you remember the Shadow Moses incident, it's basically like the 4 bosses. So there's I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Vamp, Fortune, Solidus Snake, and Fat Man. Fat Man has the greatest code name. Anyway, so essentially he gets in. It's very reminiscent of the Shadow Moses incident. You go underwater, you infiltrate through a little barrier underneath, and you have to swim onto the lowest level and take an elevator to the very top. So you get there. Raiden is running around. He's getting all this information. You've got the Colonel, who's still there, of course. He's like the head of the operation. Rosemary kind of works as like your save mechanic or your guide, and she's also your girlfriend. I think as far as people you talk to from your organization, that's it. Anyway, so basically, so Raiden gets in. He's thinking around all these struts. He's trying to get all the information because, like I said, you have to find the president. You have to find the SEAL team they sent in because the radio communication has been cut off. So you run into Strut. It's like the connecting bridge, I believe, for Struts 1 or 2 or A and B. I can't remember if they do numbers or if they do letters, but one or the other. They get in, and you basically kind of watch SEAL Team 10 get murdered. All but one person lives, and his name is Iroquois Pliskin. Basically, they all get murdered by Vamp. Iroquois was able to fight off Vamp, and then Raiden comes in last second and is just like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And he's like, he just takes a smoke and goes, "Just another day." But anyway, it basically from there, Iroquois kind of helps you out and like gives you information, helps you complete your mission, because not only are you going to get the president, but you got to find all these bombs that have been planted. So from there, as you're leaving there, going to the next bridge, you run into Bravo Team, who runs into Fortune. Fortune is really cool because Fortune cannot die. Like anytime you shoot at her, bullets are projected around her, so it misses her every time, and she basically wants to die. The whole time she's like, "Kill me." And they try to, and they can't, doesn't work. So she has this huge, like, it's not like a rail gun, but it's like an electrokinetic rifle of some sort that basically blasts the bridge apart and kills everybody, except for her, of course. And so from there, basically, you're kind of forced to, like, I can't remember if you go around it or if you have to, like, jump off the side of the bridge and have to, like, shimmy across to get to the other end. Anyway, but you get there, and then you once you finally get to the next strut, which I think it's 2 or 3 or B or C. I cannot remember to save my life. You find out both SEALs helicopters were shot down. All the SEALs are dead except for Pliskin at this point, and then you find out that there's a bomb disposal expert. His name's Peter Stillman. You find out it was there to dispose of the bombs Fat Man places, which Fat Man actually used to be his best student at the time or before this. And but
under 10 minutes, Josh.
Okay. So basically, you disarm all these bombs as you're going through, and then Stillman dies, I believe, because there's a bomb that he has to dispose of, and it's not working. So I think he sacrifices himself to dispose it. And then you go up to the helicopter. Go up to the helicopter to fight Fat Man. He's like, as he's rollerblading around, he's got this like bomb suit on minus the helmet. He rolls around, plants bombs down, he shoots at you as he's roller skating, and basically you defeat him. And he reveals that he has like bombs on his chest. He blows up, and then literally right after that, you run into a new cyborg ninja, kind of like what was his name? Gray Fox, I think it was. Gray Fox was the old ninja, yeah. So you run into something similar to that, and you're like, well, "Who the hell are you? What are you doing here?" And he just kind of gives you like information about a service agent. I don't remember his name. Anyways, like the president's like right hand man, sort of, who knew the location of the president and could tell you stuff. So you basically have to go find him. And then once you find him, he tells you that the president has a pacemaker, and you have to use like a microphone on everybody as you're like sneaking around. I think you can get a disguise, or you have to crawl around, pointing your microphone gun at people's chests, trying to find the irregular heartbeat, basically. And eventually you talk to the president. And then if I remember correctly the president basically kind of has a heart attack and dies. Let's see. What's next? Sorry, I'm dying here because I'm trying to remember what happens from there, because there's like a big blank, and then I'm like, I remember happens from there. Okay, so we're just gonna skip through it. So eventually, Solid Snake shows himself and says he's Solid Snake, and Iroquois goes, "That's not Solid Snake," and he starts shooting him in a helicopter. And then you find Emma Emmerich. You find out that it actually is Hal's family member, sister, stepsister, whatever she is. And then you basically have to help her leave the strut she's in to get to another strut to be safe. And then there's a whole thing where you and Iroquois, you find out Iroquois is actually Solid Snake, but you're sitting there and you're on opposite ends with snipers, and you have to snipe all these drones that come by trying to knock her off of the strut. She's walking like on thin plates. She gets attacked by Vamp. You shoot Vamp, but she ends up getting stabbed and dies. And then there's another fight with Vamp that you kill him, or supposedly kill him. You find out that Hal is sad and wanted to be there for her and couldn't be, and he feels sick to his stomach, and yeah, whatever. Okay, so from there, you do fight. No, not yet. What am I thinking? Okay, so eventually at some point, Ocelot captures you, and you get tortured and stuff. And then somehow you're released, but you're butt ass naked. So you run around holding your privates, and you're doing cartwheels. It's really funny, really unexpected. But and as this is happening, you keep getting Kodak calls that they're not weird yet, but they're just like not necessarily good. And it's like, well, what's going on here? And you find out eventually that Raiden was a child soldier. He was basically raised to become the perfect killer, and that's why he was recruited into Foxhound. But you also find out that Foxhound isn't what it was anymore, because the Patriots have taken over, and they were trying to basically make a new Solid Snake since Snake left. They obviously were missing something, so like, well, we need to make a new Solid Snake. We need to have a new operative who can do anything. And they were trying to make Raiden him, and it wasn't working. So you kind of find out that the whole incident was almost like a simulation to Raiden to an extent. Like, obviously it's all real and it's all happening, but they were trying to simulate Shadow Moses incident, trying to like make the new Solid Snake. Eventually you meet back up with Solid, and you basically work together to fight off a bunch of cyborg ninjas together. It's actually a really cool scene, and there's like different aspects. Like one moment, it gives you like a game over screen, and then your screen gets really tiny, but you're still fighting everybody. And as it's happening, you're getting all these weird codec calls from like the AI Colonel and AI Rosemary that are just really weird, obscure, and it gets really fucked up. And then you find Fortune. Fortune blames Solid for her father's death. Her father was the Marine. He was a captain or general who was on the ship who ends up dying. But it wasn't his fault. It was Liquid. Anyway, so then from there you fight 3 Metal Gear Rays. You destroy all 3 of them. The ship that you're on crashes into Manhattan. Anyway, it crashes, and then you fight Solidus Snake with a sword. It's a really cool fight, and then you find out that Rosemary is real, and Brighton goes up to her and it's just like, I don't know who I really am anymore. Everything has been lied. I've been lied to my whole life. I've been manipulated. I gotta find myself. And then you also find out that Rosemary is, I believe she's pregnant, and he just doesn't know what to do with his life, and he's just trying to figure himself out and what to go from there. And then from there, I think from there, like you find out that America basically stays out of all wars and or tries to stay out of all wars throughout the world. And PMCs and the war comedy were like the huge thing that took effect, because it's like, well, a private military group, Russian group, was able to do this much damage and kind of like showed that PMCs are the way to go for the future. And that's all I've got with 3 minutes to spare. I know I missed a bunch, but I can't remember half the freaking thing.
I'm pissed. I made that way too easy. I made it way too easy.
How good did I do?
I think I don't have the final tally, but let me mark it up here for you, Joshua. That was really good though. A lot of details that I would have missed. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So what is that? 42? 42 out of 50? Let me talk to my judges and get the final score up here for us. Where is it? Here we go. Yeah, there were a few that you missed, and let me get this back up on the screen for everybody. This will also be available in the show notes if you're worried about not being able to read this. So let's see here. Mentioned Metal Gear Ray on the tanker. You got that one. Mentioned Snake and Otacon's group philanthropy. I didn't think you were going to get that one, but I imagine
that's like the only detail I remember from the very beginning. I couldn't even remember the Golovich. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the last name. I just remember Olga.
So yeah, as I was telling you, I got really specific with the beginning, and then because there's so much that happens on Big Show that I was like, I feel like if we get into the nitty gritty in the beginning and then get more broad as we go, it'll be fine. But you fucking got it anyway.
Yes.
What river is the tanker on? Hudson. Who from MGS1 is on the tanker? Ocelot and Liquid, depending on how you look at it. Who does Snake fight on the tanker? You got Olga. You said they got into a gunfight. I didn't think you were going to get this one, and then you circled back and mentioned Fortune's father. Both men.
I totally forgot to bring him up. I wasn't even thinking about it.
But you brought up Olga's father by chance. You didn't know his name, but I gave you the pass on that. But yeah, the fact that both women were driven by their father's death, and they're kind of a foil.
And they both hate Solid Snake.
And they both hate Solid Snake was great. You didn't mention the Patriots framing Snake and sinking the tanker. You did mention that Ocelot was there to steal it, but you didn't mention the Patriots were there specifically to. That's why they had that drone take a picture of them, and then Solid and Otacon were basically labeled as eco-terrorists from that point on.
I totally forgot about that.
Which is why he went into hiding and took on Iroquois Pliskin as his name.
Oh, no, he became Iroquois Pliskin because he snuck in with the SEALs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's
because he wasn't part of the SEALs, but he snuck in with them.
Right.
And when he ran into Raiden, he's like, "Oh, I have to come up with a name," because obviously he knew that Raiden was part of Foxhound.
And then the president and all of them are running Foxhound, or the Patriots are running Foxhound to basically replace Snake because they don't have control of Snake, because Snake's kind of his own free thinker. You didn't mention Arsenal Gear by name. Arsenal Gear is the ship that you mentioned that crashes into Manhattan at the end.
Oh, I forgot that's called Arsenal Gear.
It's like their big war machine, but really it's like a misinformation. A machine they're using for like misinformation to like drive people to like be on their side. You got I thought you were gonna get like Sons of Liberty and Dead Cell mixed up. It's really weird. So Sons of Liberty has like members of Dead Cell, but then other people. So like Olga, it has Ocelot.
Yeah, so like Sons of Liberty was just the name of the group, and then they had a special unit called
Dead Cell within Sons of
which
Liberty.
Which is those 4.
And then Dead Cell actually had more than 4, but a few of them died before Big Shell.
Well, right, but I was just bringing the fact up that those 4 make up Dead Cell.
Which is crazy if you think about it, because there's already one dead member of Foxhound in the first game. So they really like the purpose of it was to be very similar, and there were so many more similarities that I hadn't realized in the beginning. You mentioned Fat Man, Fortune, Vamp, Solidus Snake, Sons of Liberty. You mentioned the ninja and their identity. Raiden, Colonel.
I can't remember their identity. I just remember the ninja. Who was the ninja?
The ninja was, you said it was Olga.
Oh, it was Olga. That's right.
You said it was Olga.
Did I say? Then you didn't mark it. It's not marked.
Oh, never mind. You didn't mention Olga. Never mind.
I did mention Olga. I remember it was the ninja, but I couldn't remember who the ninja was.
So this ninja was known as Mr. X because the last one was known as Deep Throat, who was Gray Fox. This one was Olga. I'm guessing it's because I'm trying to remember. I think it was because Olga didn't agree with a lot of what was going on with the Sons of Liberty. She
found out that they lied to her, and they also were holding her child.
And she grew her hair out. Were they holding Fortune's daughter too?
I don't remember about Fortune's. I just remember Olga's because you end up keep having I can't remember her name, but like Metal Gear Solid 4. She's grown up and she's basically living with Otacon and Snake.
Yeah, because Fortune and Olga both die, so maybe it was just Olga's daughter.
Yeah, because they said find her, and I think that's what Raiden does between then and the beginning of 4 is he finds her and then gives her to Otacon and Snake.
And then Fortune's heart is on the right side of her body, and she eventually gets shot in it. She gets shot on the left side, and then like there's a cheesy like anime soap opera line. Oh, I forgot her heart's on the other side of the body.
And then he comes back to shoot her, and then she somehow actually can't. Oh, I forgot to mention that. So you find out that the reason Fortune can't die is because they planted this device in her suit that basically it's like a magnetic field that forces bullets around.
So her Fortune was actually manufactured. It wasn't like something she was born with.
Yeah, and then you find out that she actually can somehow deflect bullets, which never gets explained, but it's just more like the forced will, I guess, or something. It's weird, but
war in this series always changes. You mentioned Raiden, duh. You mentioned the Colonel. What is special about Fortune? You talked about it. I'm surprised you mentioned Peter Stillman, but you got him. Rose, you mentioned Big Cell. You didn't say who raised Raiden. He mentioned that he was part of that program, but you didn't mention that he was raised by the president himself.
I totally forgot about that. And his nickname was Jack the Ripper.
Yep.
That's the other name I forgot to mention.
You mentioned how Shadow Moses plays into it, which I also think Shadow Moses, if I'm remembering correctly, was also staged by Solidus. I think
it probably was. Because he was the president at that time, wasn't he?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then in this, he isn't the president anymore.
But they still... Ocelot still talks to him as Mr. President.
Yeah. Who was ever related to? You talked about it being Hal. That family is laced in tragedy. Their grandfather or their father built the A-bomb for Japan, and then grandfather, and then Hal built Metal Gear Rex, then Emma built Metal Gear Arsenal. Terrible family. We need to wipe them off the face of the earth.
Yeah, just end their legacy now.
And then this one I was also surprised you got. What code name did Snake use in Big Shell? Aragoy's Plishkin, which I think is a Escape from New York reference as well.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
Which is the only way that I remember it.
That's how I remember it.
So, Josh, as we said, 42 points, making you the winner of this round. Bing, 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 bing.
I don't have to eat beets. I'm so happy.
I will be eating beets and playing Beat Saber. We will get that on our calendar. Down the road, we need to figure out a date for that. I know that we're looking at streaming on Tuesday this week. I don't know what we're playing, though. We got to talk about that. Damn it. So, hold on. Let me dig them out behind the green screen. I had to hide them. Shame. Isn't there a meat that you have to, like, there's like a duck you eat that you have to cover your face so you, like, the world can't see you eating it?
No, I know there's a bird you eat that you're supposed to cover your face because it like heightens your other senses.
I just remember it from American Dad. So pickled baby beets, I will be eating these. If you're watching on the YouTubes, I will be eating these on a stream in the near future. Let me get a whiff of these bad boys.
I don't have to eat them. I'm so happy.
I went too easy on you. like I said, the sheet, Josh's score sheet and the blank one will be up for you guys to look at in the show notes. We will be back with 2002 next week, and then the week after that we'll get into another round of these. We haven't picked out a punishment. We'll pick out the game in next week's episode that I'll be doing. Or actually, Josh, now that you've won this round, do you want to go first next time, or do you want me to go first?
Whichever you prefer. I'll let you pick. Loser's pick.
I'll go first. I like going first.
Okay.
And because I think there are a few games in 2002 that I know better, that I feel better about. Josh, you will be doing another Pokemon quiz next week, by the way. So you better sharpen up on your Gen 3. Just be aware. Be aware. Anytime
am I allowed to actually look and see this time? Because last time you told me I couldn't do any studying.
You can look. You can't look at my sheet to see what Pokemon I picked. You can dig through the Pokédex.
If I can go through if I can go through the Pokédex.
You can dig through the Pokédex. Yes.
Okay.
So like I said,
I would do a little studying.
2002, a week from today, and then we'll start another round of this of the Speedcaps. We are on all social media. I am Nick Fat Knight on Twitch, also on Twitter, but also on Twitter I'm That Coffin. That's my more active account. Josh, where can people find you?
They can find me on Twitch and on Twitter as I'm Josh Sang.
I'm Josh Sang. I can't believe we let you do that still, but whatever. Thanks to Alex Marvin Clark for the intro and outro theme. Check him out. We have a link in the show notes. The song is called Hunt Him Down. I got it.
Really good.
It's a really good song. It's really good. Josh, any parting words?
I hope everyone has a blessed new year, and we'll see what this year has to come.
We didn't even talk about it. We were so caught up in our medical stuff. We didn't even wish everyone a happy new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Josh's social security is burp, 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 burp. That's so I don't have to edit it in later.
Perfect.
Again, like us, subscribe to us wherever you listen to. If you're on Apple, drop a review. The stars and the words. We'd love it all. And we'll see you guys next week.
We're live.
We'll read them live. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.